It is that time of the year. The AFC Divisional round brings us to Empower Field at Mile High Stadium, a rematch of the wild card game last year with a flipped home field advantage. Josh Allen this time the road recipient, heading towards Mile High, looking to take on Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos fresh off the bye week. It is the first game of the weekend of Divisional round down to the Elite Eight, and we kick off with an excellent game, a blowout in last year's playoff where the Broncos struck first and early and could not find any love down the stretch. This year, though, they are the favorite to win this game, and Bo Nix trying to get the Broncos back to the promised land where Peyton Manning took them right before his retirement. As for Josh Allen, no easier path than now. No Mahomes, no Burrow, no problem. Kickoff is underway, and here we go with the Broncos on the receiving end, and we'll get a little taste of Bo Nix from the 25-yard line. Bo Nix has been quietly playing like one of the top quarterbacks in all of football. All the talk around Drake May and Matthew Stafford in one of his later career games, but Bo Nix right there with some of the top dogs in the NFL, running right alongside with them. Been having a great season as well. Broncos obviously getting the first round bye, claiming that AFC West title with multiple weeks to spare. And now, no more competition in their division. Chargers eliminated by the Patriots. And so the Denver Broncos, the lone team left in the AFC West. Nix off the bootleg on the opening play going downfield, and he connects with Cortland Sutton. This is a healthy Broncos wide receiver core, which has not always been the case throughout the entire year. But they have all their guys back and running with the football. That is not the case for the Bills. We'll talk more about that when they take the field. However, their defense still trying to be as healthy as possible, missing Jordan Poyer after his injury in the wild card round. Handoff, here goes to Harvey, who hits the sideline inside of Bill's territory, and 2 plays later, it is back-to-back Bronco first downs inside the 35-yard line. Welcome, everybody joining me here today. Aaron Hodge, Mr. Fence of JP Zeller, Santoriu, and everybody else joining me throughout. Glad to have you guys here with me for Playoff Sims. Missed the wild card for the first time in like 3 or 4 years, but we are back to playoff action as the handoff goes to Harvey again. He will pick up 4. Bills got the win in that wild card game against Jacksonville, but they paid a very, very hefty price. The amount of season-ending injuries that obviously won't linger too much into next year, but just a devastating amount that you can only relate to week 2 of San Francisco against the Jets years and years ago at MetLife Stadium, when their season essentially ended with a win at East Rutherford. As downfield goes Nix again inside the 10-yard line. Marvin Mims on the receiving end that time sets up first and goal. And the Bills defense right now trying to find anybody with some competence to stop this passing attack, swarming from Bo Nix and the orange tops and the white bottoms. R.J. Harvey this time left to Bo Nix. Got a weak side formation. He will hand off to Harvey up the middle. Nobody home, and it's Harvey into his home. That's the end zone for the opening drive touchdown. A statement from the Broncos. Denver will strike first in just 5 plays early on. R.J. Harvey on his 3rd carry. Nobody in the box, and it's the easiest score of the season for number 12. Point after coming up here for Will Lutz before we get a taste of Josh Allen. But the Broncos, all the question marks around a week full of rest. How prepared would they be for a game like this? Sean Payton, obviously, no stranger to the spotlight in the coaching department, as Lutz will knock through the point after, making it a 7-0 Bronco lead. 5 plays, 74 yards, 206. And we do get a Bears sim. I'm also very excited for that. I feel like every Bears game this past season was electric to the very end, and I'm hoping the postseason can deliver some more of that. There have been a lot of similarities, a lot of apples to apples, though, I've noticed, because every Bears game truly has felt like what we watched go on during the summer, although most of their come-from-behind wins and late dramas were more towards the end of the season, not really the first 7 weeks in which we saw. Nonetheless, though, one of my favorite teams right now being the Chicago Bears. Had a little man crush on them since like early November, late October. Hopefully they can take down the Rams. We will see that sim Friday evening at 8 p.m. as they are the final game to close out divisional weekend. As Josh Allen takes the field from the 28-yard line. Santori, you got to be a happy man as well. No more NFC South teams in the postseason. If you're a Cardinals fan right now, rough time for you. Guaranteed to have one NFC West team in that conference title game, and possibly two. As Shakir gets the swing left side, and this is where we need to start the conversation about the health of the wide receivers of Buffalo. Tyrell Shavers will miss next week with an injury sustained in the previous game. Curtis Samuel is on IR as well. The Broncos currently, or the Bills I should say, have 3 rostered wide receivers healthy to play in this game. All that weight going on the back of Josh Allen and James Cook here, as well as Knox and Kincaid at tight end. Going to have to play a lot of 22 if you know football. That's an incompletion there from Allen, looking for Knox underneath, and it brings up the game's opening 3rd and 5 with just over 7 minutes to go. Just excited for the days when Caleb starts playing 4 quarters. I think Ben Johnson just has a knack for the dramatic. I've come to that conclusion myself. Guy just loves to get down and dirty late in a football game. And honestly, I admire it from a neutral perspective. Allen trying to flush right side. Barely got that one away from the pressure. But Nick Benito, Defensive Player of the Year candidate last year, forces that incompletion with the quarterback hits. This Broncos team is special. Offense is tuned up since last season, but the defense has taken a bit of a step back. Not bad at all, but if they had last year's defense with this year's offense, game would be looking a whole lot different. Mitch Wishnowsky will boot it back to Denver. And out across the 20, Marvin Mims will return it to the 22-yard line. Short break for Bo Nix, back to work with a touchdown lead here in the first quarter. Denver Broncos have not hosted a playoff game since that 2015 AFC Championship. Obviously happy to get back to the big dance last season, but hungry for more, a lot more expected of them given their regular season success. And they have kind of been the AFC Chicago Bears down to the wire in every game they have played. They have found success as Nix will fire his first incompletion on his second drive. ESPN listed Allen as questionable. Obviously he's going to play. They just like to throw all those injuries on there for whatever reason. I don't know if it's the flare or what it might be. Carolina Kitties got into the playoffs despite a losing record and then picked up Brick Young's 5th-year option. Yeah, Bryce Young had another up-and-down season. He is a roller coaster of a quarterback. As Harvey gets another handoff, he'll pick up about 2. I think Bryce Young just needs to be told that they're playing the Falcons every week, and he would be an MVP candidate. Because that guy turns up against Atlanta. And nobody else, which is odd because the Falcons, quite honestly, were not that bad this last season. They beat good teams. They just have an ineptitude to beat teams that are bad for some reason. That is the Falcon away as Nix will be tucked away. Larry Ogunjobi with the sack. That is an AFC North legend right there with the takedown. And a punt coming up here for Denver. And their first of the game as well. Bryce Young needs to be 5'10". Needs to not be 5'10". That is the problem. Yeah, there is a real stigma of quarterbacks under 6 foot and their lack of success. Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Bryce Young. I don't know. The chip on your shoulder can be as big as you want it to be, but you got to put some of that into the height category as well. It's a new day and age of quarterbacks where you need height, mobility, dual threat ability, and arm, all the following. And that's the kind of prospect the teams are looking for nowadays. And if you can't run the football, especially at 5'11", 5'10", you're probably not going to make it very far in football in general. Bryce Young looks elite against the Falcons, but shrinks against the Saints. Love to see it. I think it might just be the Tyler Shuck, man. Something about that mentality. Should be the offensive rookie of the year if he played the whole year. Oh well. As Allen on the play action, dumps it down, caught by Kincaid, who will turn upfield and pick up 9. Broncos trying not to give up their first defensive first down of the ball game. Still went up Strawberry Jam. Low-key I'm rooting for the Panthers, my former home team. Honestly, I was hoping they would pull off that upset. What a back-and-forth game that was, though. So much fun. Great set of games in the postseason. Up until probably the final 2, I didn't think the Patriots game was all that entertaining either. Cook will pick up the first down on his opening rushing attempt. What up? Yes, I agree. Long time no see. Thought I'd pop in for a bit. Got the Broncos winning in real life. I'm taking the Bills in this one. I know that they are injured, but I think Josh Allen, man, he's the X factor. And I truly think he is going to be on a road rampage this postseason. We'll see what happens. This is a 13 setup, 3 tight ends out there as Shakir, the lone wide receiver, gets the RPO catch for 7 into Bronco territory. And second 3 coming up as the Denver crowd emerging here. Right around 4 o'clock local time. This game will be played on a Saturday. Denver fans wishing for a night game. There were just a lot more spectacles to be put under the spotlight. I think Rams-Bears deserved a primetime game. I even think the Texans-Patriots probably deserved it over the injured Niners against Seattle. But that being said, both of those teams played an earlier game. You can't give the Texans a 5-day turnaround playing on Monday and then Saturday. I do understand that. That was just my opinion, though. Allen back to work on 3rd and 2. After a short play there, down the middle he goes. It's caught, turning around is Shakir. Heavy load for number 10, his 3rd catch for 27. And a Buffalo first down. For the Falcons have a 25-4 record in meaningless games, a.k.a. after being eliminated from playoff contention. That does not shock me at all. That's probably since 2020, I would say. That sounds about right. They just win meaningless games for no reason. Another 1st and 10 for Allen, who's going to zip one downfield, and he's picked off, intercepted at the 10-yard line, and Allen cleans up his own mistake with the tackle, but the Denver defense giving Allen problems early. P.J. Locke with the interception, and a 20-yard return. Allen seeing ghosts of Curtis Samuel downfield, again looking for Khalil Shakir down the middle. Could not find him, and P.J. Locke walks away with the opening turnover of the divisional round. What up, Raiders, boy? If the Bills win the Super Bowl this year, does that mean that the Chiefs are even better than we thought? I mean, I guess. In a way, that would make sense. It's probably one of those logical fallacies, though. The, the circle of parity where every team beats every team, you know what I mean? No unofficial national championships in the NFL, which is a good thing. Nobody's hanging a banner like Central Florida. As Nix goes outside, cuts away wide open. R.J. Harvey. Nobody within 15 yards of the flat. Easiest first down he'll have. Alongside the touchdown on the opening Denver drive, they look to push here into Bills territory once again. Still like Tua, that was a rough look. Yeah, as a Fins fan, I can imagine. What are the thoughts on Tua now that McDaniel's gone? I have to wonder what the perspective of a Dolphins fan looks like as Harvey gets going again. A legacy first quarter here, averaging over 11 yards a carry. And he is feeling great with a cool breeze zipping through the high altitude of Mile High. Like the only thing preventing the Bills from winning every year is the Chiefs, right? Well, aside from, I guess, the Bengals. Did the Bengals ever do that? I don't think they ever beat them. No, they did once. That was that crazy snow game in the divisional round. That is right. Harvey picks up another first down in the meantime. Don't blink or you will miss the next one. Up, Scribble. Yeah, that has been kind of the general consensus out of Pittsburgh today, I feel like. It's not, it's one of those things where the clock simply struck midnight. Nix off the play action will step right and fire. Caught by Mims again, the hero in Cincinnati. Last year in that game that they lost in overtime, but Marvin Mims had some of the most miraculous catches on consecutive drives to force overtime in that game. Broncos would clinch a week later against Kansas City to get back to the postseason for the first time in 10 years, but now 2 years in a row in the big dance. They're looking to make some more noise this year as Harvey finally has a carry that doesn't go for more than 4 yards. He will pick up one, maybe half a yard there to the 8-yard line. How Zach Taylor is still employed, I have no idea. I think if the Bengals were the team that won the division and, Tomlin walks away, Harbaugh and Stefanski already get fired, they might look in the mirror differently. But I think it's kind of just too late for him as Nix will take the quarterback sneak right up the A-gap. No contest there from the defensive line of Buffalo. First and goal into the final minute of the opening quarter. Bengals could do the funniest thing by firing Zach Taylor. They could. It would be incredibly unprofessional, but they definitely could. I also think their ownership is really cheap and not very wealthy, to be fair. I think the 31st most wealthy owner in the NFL is that's another Buffalo Bill, Zach Taylor. No, Terrell Bernard actually there with the tackle. In the backfield, Bo Nix unprotected completely in the backfield. Bo Nix moved to Sally unrealistic. True. Unless it's for game, I could see him getting a little animated. But I don't think the Bengals can afford to hire a new coach right now, which is their entire philosophy. Until the wheels really fall off, there is no reason to make a change. End of one from Empower Field. It's the Broncos 7, the Bills nothing, with Denver goal to go, flipping sides of the field to begin the second quarter. Bo Nix will march 70 yards the other direction. Gorgeous, breezy day in upstate Colorado. Second to go from the 15-yard line. Four-man rush coming here from Buffalo. All day to throw for Bo Nix to the end zone. Deflected and nearly intercepted. Almost a touchdown and a touchback all at once. Matt Milano brought the heat there on the pressure. Did very well to force a more of a rough pass there than desired from Bo Nix. What up, SM? You imagine an entire division without coaches? I was saying earlier, I don't remember the last time there was 3-1. And the save season, another sack coming up the middle here for Buffalo. The third of the game, second of the drive as well. What up, King Xavier? Lario and Daquan Jones up the middle. Forced to be reckoned with up the A and B gap. Hope you've been, well, yeah, absolutely. Still recovering from Saturday, man. I am too, but also in a different way. Got, unfortunately, a little bit ill on my way back as the Will Lutz 39-yarder is up and good, giving the Broncos a 10-0 lead. I contemplated even pressing the broadcast button this entire week. Believe it or not, I was like, oh, we're already off tradition, not doing the wild card games. Might just have to wait for the conference titles and Super Bowl, which will still be coming. But I remember last year I was battling hell in my body during that Super Bowl stream. Had like 2 cough drops in my mouth during the commentary. Nobody could say I didn't want it at the end of the day. But yeah, that some ship flu or something is what it is there. I did not gonna lie, I had to tweak a bunch with the current roster that I'm using. I'm not even sure if this one is up to date or if that one is up to date or what's going on, but I go through every time before the game and check the depth charts to make sure, injured reserve players are off the roster and all the A's, B's, and C's of fixing a depth chart, especially for this game because the Bills are a completely different team without their wide receiver core healthy. As they go one back, one tight end, going to James Cook on the halfback screen. He'll break a tackle in the open field, and he'll be shut down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 8. On the opening play of this drive, massive possession here for Buffalo. No points on the board just yet. They would love to find some before the break. Also receiving the second half kickoff. Denver showing blitz as the handoff goes to Cook. Good decision. And he is going to lose the football on the way down. Scooped up by Denver. And down the sideline they go. Their defense finds the end zone. Talanoa Hufanga with the force. And it's a Denver scoop and score on the defensive end from Dre Greenlaw. And we'll take a look again to see if Cook was down first. That right knee and right elbow are the deciding factors here. No doubt if it is a fumble, it is a score. As the Denver defense looking unstoppable early on here. And we'll see if we even get an official review. That right knee was most definitely close, and honestly that elbow could have forced the fumble too. The officials told to always play it out, and we will get the booth review and a couple other angles to take a look at before we move on with the action. This could be a game-deciding kind of play as this will probably be the best angle. Right knee is down, then the football comes out. Kind of a bang-bang play. See what the officials decide, though. That was awfully close, but they will bring it back. And the Bills can take a breath. They get the football and a first down as well. Wiping off a huge Denver touchdown. That could have changed the entirety of this game. Broncos or Texans defense, at this point, I don't know how you couldn't say Houston. You got to favor them this year. Now, if you asked about last year's Denver defense against this year's Houston defense, that would be a great conversation. As Cook on the halfback dive picks up about 3. Ref ball in the building already. Broncos defense has been on a heater, though. That is for certain. They have looked incredible this season, even still. Despite also not being incredibly healthy. Reigning defensive player of the year, though. Instead, it's solid defensive back as Allen will zip one down the field. It's caught just short of the sticks. That time it's Shakir again on the 5-yard pickup. His last target resulted in an interception, nearly the second Bronco forced turnover on this drive here. I forgot we could get a Texans-Broncos AFC title game. That game would be awesome. 9-6 final score out of there. Allen going to take a quarterback draw up the middle, and the Denver defense was ready. Sack Allen with a tackle for loss. And Allen has been finding less and less success on these kind of plays periodically throughout the season. He pays no dividends there on 3rd and short, and the Bills will come away empty-handed again. Only bright side of that possession is not handing Denver points like it seemed they did earlier on. Wishnowski will boot it away for the second time. His best work of this Saturday afternoon. Fair catch called for inside the 15 as Bo Nix and R.J. Harvey will take back over. Harvey averaging 10 yards a carry, 7 for 70, and the only touchdown still scored in this game. Your halftime-ish reminder to drop a like if you haven't yet already. Going to be streaming all of the divisional round games throughout the week. Tomorrow night, got the Niners in Seattle. Thursday night, we will head back up to Foxborough for Houston, New England. And then Friday evening, the Rams head to Soldier Field as R.J. Harvey gets the handoff again. His number called for the 8th time. He will pick up 4. And Denver will look to regroup at the 18-yard line. Bills defense could really use a forced turnover here. Something they have lacked a lot this season, but usually that forced turnover is the key turning point in football games. Solidifies victory or gets the offense going. And that would help out Allen right now as Harvey again, this time on the halfback screen, will pick up 5 up to the 23, 3rd and about a foot. Coming up here with 6 to go in the opening half. It's been all Denver all too often. Broncos have an incredible amount of depth on defense, but you can only hold on to elite status for so long with all those injuries. Ask San Francisco. They are in the same boat as Nix will take a quarterback sneak, and that time he did not get there. Matt Milano fills up the A-gap. And we'll take a look at the overhead here. And he did not pick it up. Very similar to the Trevor Lawrence 4th down run last week, which was another massive turning point in the game. Called back. Originally called a first down. Given to the Bills as a turnover on downs, and they march the length of the field there as a fair catch called for on the punts from Crawshaw. And it's Shakir. That'll put the Bills at the 33-yard line. James Cook will trot back out onto the field, looking to play a bigger role here and hang on to the football. 4 carries for just 12 yards early on offensively. Bills looking a little bit lackluster here. These two teams always put on cinematic performances year in and year out, no matter how good or bad each of them are. Usually Denver, the underdog, but this time with the home field advantage and off the bye week. Got to imagine the majority of people feeling confident about Bo Nix and company. Cook picks up a yard on 1st and 10. Sean McDermott has a huge chip on his shoulder. He has got to lead this Bills team at least a step further with a win here in Denver. Allen facing a late blitz, dancing around the pocket. Got to be careful, and he goes down again. Alex Singleton. And it's an 8-yard loss, 3rd and 17. 3rd and a mile high. It's only right. And with only 3 healthy receivers, so hard to find chemistry down the field. Josh Allen still has only found 1 true wide receiver this game, that being Khalil Shakir. And he's going to have to target somebody downfield on 3rd and 17. 4-man rush. Allen has all day. Steps to his right, steps up, and he will take off and gain a couple yards there. Nothing going downfield. Excellent coverage from this Broncos secondary. And it is another Bills 3-and-out. Been flipping between Bills and Broncos on -1.5 favorites. This game might be more split than people think. Could be the case. Oh well, what up, Chargers fan? Wisniewski will boot this one away again. Becoming quite the punt off here between Crawshaw and Wisniewski. As the fair catch called for there by Marvin Mims at the 20-yard line. I heard a great take this week about quarterbacks hitting their throwing hand on linemen's helmets. Make your O-line all wear Guardian caps. That's a good point, actually. There have been a lot of seasons tarnished or set back from broken fingers and torn ligaments in hands. That is a very good point, actually. What up, Trex? Bo Nix back to work, facing a blitz. It is well picked up, but still cannot connect with the open Evan Ingram downfield. First target for the former Jacksonville Jaguar, as they were promptly eliminated last week. Lawrence throwing an interception on the first play of a game-tying or game-winning potential drive there at Everbank Stadium. Great year for Jacksonville. Liam Cohen looking to lead that team to great things in the future, as it is Marvin Mims again underneath. They'll pick up right around 4. Bills again trying to bail out their offense and get them some decent field position to work with. Did lose to the Patriots. Justin Herbert again looked terrible in a playoff game. He needs to have conversations had about himself here very soon, because coaching can no longer be blamed. Here goes Nix again on 3rd and 6. He will fire a completion near the sticks, and it will be just enough for the first down by about 6 inches. Great tackle made in the open field. Simply was not in time. Under 3 we go in period number 2. Yeah, I'm not shocked the Chargers lost. I still think the Patriots are frauds, but I think the Chargers were as well. They were never going to expose New England, especially on the road. Underneath catch made by Evan Ingram. He will pick up 4 on 1st and 10. That is the 5th tackle of the first half there from Matt Milano. Ball up to the 34-yard line. Yes, Greg Roman fired too. That's pretty significant. I'm shocked he lasted as long as he did there, to be honest with you. Knowing him coming over from the Ravens, he was pretty miserable with Lamar Jackson. Didn't expect him to be that much better with Justin Herbert. As Ingram again will pick up the catch and first down. A gain of a dozen will take us to the 2-minute warning. Broncos tack on a field goal and carry a 10-0 lead into the Bo Nix 2-minute drill. 7 defensive backs on the field here for Denver. Or Buffalo, I should correct myself and say that's a completion again from Nix. He's over the 100-yard mark here in the second quarter. Chargers-Bears Super Bowl. I feel he got something ChatGPT would say. Why was Justin Herbert all last season? It wasn't nearly as bad as it feels. That's a good point. He was actually, what was he, pressured on 30 of his 31 passes? That is very unacceptable. I did see that stat. Harvey picks up a yard and the line to gain. It will be a first down. Denver going to take their time here. Each team still has all 3 of those timeouts. Denver, Buffalo, I should say, did not actually challenge that touchdown. Was a scoring play, therefore reviewed automatically. And so they still have 2. Regardless of that outcome, 4-man rush again. Nix will find the open target. Marvin Mims out in open space. It'll take all the green grass ahead of him. And that's a 17-yard pickup. And another Denver Bronco first down. What up, Mark? Bryce Young looked better in the first playoff game than Justin Herbert had looked in his first 3. It's a good point. I will not deny that. Greg Roman can't call smooth plays to get Justin Herbert in rhythm. That's also a possibility. As Harvey again up the middle gets good blocking at R.J. Harvey. Some of his best work of the afternoon. It's a 16-yard pickup. And the opening timeout taken with 1 minute and 1 second to go. Here in the second quarter, the Bills want to stop the clock, try to get the football back once again. That's because the Panthers offensive coordinator is way smarter than Greg Roman. Roman, his old style, doesn't know how to get in rhythm. True. And again, his style could work with a quarterback like, Matthew Stafford or Aaron Rodgers, but Justin Herbert, one of these new generation quarterbacks, it's a different philosophy. It really is. It's an evolution of football. And even Jim Harbaugh, I feel like, has a tough time coming to terms with that, as that is a double coverage fade route knocked away and completes. Bo Nix just trying to give his wide receiver a shot there. And it does not work all too well. Troy Franklin, the target, on 1st and 10, 58-6 to go. Here in quarter number 2, Nix back to pass again. 5-man rush, opens up the screen game. It's R.J. Harvey, breaks 1 tackle, still on his feet inside the 5-yard line, down to the 3. And the clock stops with his exit on the lower sideline. 3rd and 2 is the down and distance. Utter leaves, still know why we hired him. Yeah, fair enough. Imagine the wasted opportunity if the Bills don't make the Super Bowl with Mahomes and Lamar out. Yeah. Mahomes, Lamar, Burrow, none of them involved, as Harvey is in again with the push from behind. The I formation handoff finds his second touchdown, and the Broncos a point away from a 3-score lead just before halftime. He got some help there from the defense, actually. Not the wisest play. On a 3rd down, nonetheless. Maybe just want to get that football back into the hands of Josh Allen here. With 48 seconds in those 2 timeouts. Would at least like to salvage a field goal and announce some momentum before they get the football to receive here in the second half. Point after up and good from Will Lutz. It is a lingering 12-play, 80-yard drive in just under 3 minutes for Bo Nix and company. 1 step away from hosting an AFC title game. Broncos' turnaround has been significant. They don't get enough credit, by the way, for the way they recovered from that Russ trade in contracts. They bounced back immediately. They didn't have too many down years after he left. I actually think they sprung right back into the swing of things right when he left. Bo Nix comes in, a lot of pressure on a rookie, lives up to the hype in year 1, balling out here, getting the Broncos a home divisional game and a 3-score lead under the bright lights of Denver, Colorado. Josh Allen back to work. Nothing to show for in the opening 19 and change. Can he change that with 44 seconds to go from the 28-yard line? No targets yet for Keon Coleman. One of the rare, healthy wide receivers still out there for this Bills offense. Mile High as loud as it's been all afternoon on the final Bills drive of the opening half. 3 tight ends set going outside to Dawson Knox, and he will turn upfield to pick up 8. And a timeout immediately taken by Sean McDermott as he was unable to get out of bounds there. Refused to believe Harvey is running like J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins was special before he got hurt this year. I feel like he really deserves another chance. Hopefully that injury doesn't set him back too much. Herbert missed 1 or 2 plays. One of them I remember is Lai McConkey was so open. I do remember that as well. Definitely could have changed the pace of play. 2nd and 2. This time it's Kincaid in motion. Back to a 3-receiver set. Check down football, and it's caught finally by a man not named Keon Coleman or Khalil Shakir. That is Brandon Cooks underneath with the 8-yard pickup, and the final Bills timeout taken with 34 seconds to go. I don't feel very good about that, knowing how this game does in their clock management. By far and away the worst clock management of any Madden that we have seen in their simulation department. Bills were specifically screwed over in their Sunday night game against the Patriots a while back. That game was pretty ugly. Broncos going to rush 3, outside pass caught by Shakir. And maybe it's improved as he will pick up 6 and get out of bounds right at the midfield stripe. You think the Broncos' turnaround would be worth talking about, but since we can't afford offensive talent until this offseason, just frauds according to the media, well, you can change that narrative in the next 3 games if you live up to the in-city hype. Allen with plenty of time to fire downfield, and he picks out the open man wearing orange. Nick Bonito in coverage comes away with the INT. And it is a disastrous game for Josh Allen. Second turnover of the opening half. And the Broncos now with a chance to pounce on some more points. Allen looking outside for Cooks again. Nick Bonito playing the shadow coverage that time. And this is how versatile this Bronco defense can be and why it is so difficult to come to Mile High in the thick atmosphere and perform, let alone get it done on the offensive end. Josh Allen still yet to find his groove halfway through the football game. Bo Nix, though, going back to work, would love to find the end zone as Marvin Mims will get him inside a field goal range comfortably. And a timeout taken by Sean Payton. 19 seconds to go. Denver down to 2 with a 17-0 lead. Herbert's better than Bo Nix, period. I don't know, man. I think Bo Nix is too young in his NFL career for me to really determine that. They're a similar age, though, aren't they? I think Bo Nix obviously was in college for a long time there with Oregon and Auburn. Herbert, though, I'm pretty sure went in and out pretty quick. Oregon, though, has produced a lot of NFL quarterbacks in the last decade or so. All starting with Marcus Mariota as Troy Franklin back down the middle, punished for the crosser. That'll pick up 6. And Denver down to their final timeout. Bills are out. They need to replenish badly at the break. Going to walk into halftime without points for the first time this season. Disastrous opening 20 for the offense. Tyler Shough over your quarterback. True in a lot of cases. Harvey in the backfield again will block for Nix as he fires it downfield. Caught by Franklin. And the Broncos will let time wind down here and promptly take their field goal. Timeout taken with 4 seconds to go. And it'll be a chip shot for Will Lutz. What up, Flash Gordon? Actually picked the Broncos to go to the Super Bowl. Don't know about winning it, but I did pick the Broncos as the top AFC team at the beginning of the year. I think I had them on the outside looking in. I'm going to go back and look real quick. My playoffs were pretty ugly. I had the Commanders in the NFC title game, had the Ravens in the Super Bowl. It didn't look too hot. As Will Lutz on for a 28-yarder. And he will put this one up and through before halftime. A couple ticks to go. That'll be assessed on the kickoff. It is a 20-0 Bronco lead with 2 seconds left. Got to go back and find my preseason predictions somewhere in here. Yeah, let me look at my playoff bracket because this was not very good. I had a Bills-Ravens AFC title game and an Eagles-Commanders NFC title game. That was not my best work. As the touchback there off the kickoff of Will Lutz up to the 35-yard line might give Josh Allen a shot to heave it downfield. How about this, though? I predicted the Panthers-Rams game. I predicted that would be the 4-5. I said the Panthers would win in the preseason, though, unfortunately, but not a bad pull there. I had the Broncos as the 6th seed, actually making it here and losing to the Bills. That wasn't a bad shout. Josh Allen and Hail Mary mode as he is going to heave this one at 65 yards downfield. Going to wind up short, almost cut off the deflection. Would have been heroism to end the first half from Khalil Shakir. But at the end of 20, the Bills are empty-handed, down 20-0 at halftime. Offense to begin half number 2. 20-0, Caleb wins this game. True. Get him in here as a pitch quarterback. I cannot believe the clutch gene that guy has developed this season. I mean, there were talks about him not even being the future of that franchise, and quite honestly, I don't think he's played his best football even still. I think Bears fans would agree with me there. Future is bright in Chicago. Nasty running back tandem as well, but you got your head coach, and that's all that matters. As the Bills get this return up to the 30 to begin the second half. Would love to know Josh Allen's official stat line right now. It is not pretty, that is for sure. 2 first-half interceptions and a slew of incompletions and sacks taken. What a William. Nix is pretty clutch. I think he's going to be just fine. I think he'll be good too. Problem is, though, Josh Allen going to have to be extra clutch. Down by 3 scores. Sets up a screen, and it's dropped by James Cook. Nobody near him. And it is just one of those days right now for the Buffalo Bill offense. Probably would have gone for a big gain of 20. Nobody in that defensive backfield on the left side of the field. And James Cook lets that one slip right through his hands. He didn't have his best game last week. Just about 53 all-purpose yards in their 27-24 win in Jacksonville. Keon Coleman in motion. Pass down the middle is hauled in right at the line to gain. And number 10 has 10 with a first down pickup. One thing Nix has always been is clutch, that's for sure. I mean, this season especially, it's been a lot of Broncos games that have come down to the wire. That one against the Giants, still one of my favorite games of the year. Unbelievable comeback from Bo Nix. Allen going to take a quarterback keeper again, and this one working out a whole lot better. Might as well call your own number when everything else is failing. Josh Allen inside the 40. That is a gain of 20. And Allen with the longest play of the day for the Bills offense. Making Salanoa Hufanga, former Niner, miss on that one. San Francisco wishing they retain their safety right now. All their injuries they're going through. It has not been a pretty sight to see. It's Santa Clara, Bay Area, feeling the suffering there. 4-man rush, linebackers drop. Allen will fire left side. Knew who was going to pop open there. It's Cooks on the curl route. He'll pick up 6. Sean said it after they drafted him, that one of the reasons why was when they saw his tape, he could always drive down the field and get in field goal range for a last-second win. Fair enough. Some of Josh Allen's most cardiac work right there. Got to put his heart and soul into these last 18 minutes. Takes a quarterback keeper again, runs over a defender, and he'll pick up the first down. Looking like a Jerome Bettis archetype. Wearing the quarterback pads and all, he is not 6'5" for show. Inside the 25-yard line. Thunderous first down all throughout in Power Field. Josh Allen this time going to empty out the backfield. See if Denver going to dial up some pressure. Late blitzer coming. Allen fires down the middle, caught by Cooks, and he's into the end zone. A huge touchdown to kick off quarter number 3. Sean McDermott got the offense feeling right at halftime. Could be a huge turning point in the opening stages of this second half. Allen threads the needle right there in between Riley Moss and the linebackers. And the Bills are on the board with 7:44 to go here in the third quarter. He is remembering who he is now. Playoff Josh Allen, I think, one of the best quarterbacks that there is in the postseason. As the point after, coming up here from Matt Prater, who is also questionable heading into this next week. Feels like everybody on that Bills depth chart has a Q next to him. It is up and go. What up, no? Starting at 9 tonight, we'll be at 8 Eastern for the rest of the week. And I'm trying to think what next week will look like as well. TBD for the moment. I think we might do a Monday, Wednesday stream schedule for next week with highlights coming out Tuesday, Thursday. Could tentatively push that back or change it depending on circumstances there, but obviously with the long holiday weekend here for MLK Day, lives are going to look a little bit different coming off of Sunday as the return out to the 25-yard line by Marvin Mims. We'll see R.J. Harvey and this Bronco offense take back over. Harvey almost with 100 rushing yards in the opening half alongside his 2 touchdowns. And Nix has done just fine too. Just A-okay. 7:41 to go on the takeover from the Denver offense. Bo Nix back to work. One receiver up top. Off the pump fake, goes downfield to his lone man and completes it to Cortland Sutton. Moving to the chains, it's a pickup of 17. It's going to be a huge season of retirements, you're not wrong. Rodgers in all likelihood, Travis Kelce. A lot of long-time faces around the NFL starting to fizzle out. Full back end, it's Prentice as Nix will fire right side, caught by Mims again. That's a 4-yard pickup to the 45-yard line. I thought the Texans game was at least entertaining up until that fourth quarter. But I would agree, the product itself was not very good at all. Neither offense was good. C.J. Stroud legitimately had an untoppable stat line in that first half as pass goes outside again to Mims. He'll catch that at the 50. He is the first player in NFL postseason history to lose 4 fumbles in a half. And again, well, I should say lose. To have 4 fumbles in a half. He lost 2 of them. I don't think all of them were his fault. Obviously, the 2 that he lost were, but a lot of terrible snaps. Just a lot of miscommunication there from that Texan offensive line, and a huge tackle on Harvey made by Christian Bernard there. That is a gain of about a half yard there for Terrell Bernard, I should say. And right around midfield, this is a potential go-for-it situation. And Jeremy Crawshaw getting the call. Sean Payton going to remain conservative with that 13-point lead. Can't blame him based on the way his defense has played for the majority of the game. However, he couldn't have anticipated a 21-yard punt. Shanked out of bounds there by Crawshaw. Brandon Cooks starting to light up there on that last drive. 3 catches, 38 yards, and a touchdown. Very real possibility that Purdy will be the longest tenured quarterback left in the playoffs next week. That's a good point. Based on watch Steelers the previous week, I chose not to watch Texans-Steelers game. Fair enough. Just like the Bills in the playoffs. Handoff goes to Cook up the middle, and he has got to get his engine set to second gear. 1-yard pickup on the opening play of another massive Bills drive. Got to find some more points here to keep pace with what they have already fallen behind to. Near the midway point of the third quarter. Once again, a 5-man rush. Quick release, and it's incomplete off the hit of Alex Singleton. Kincaid would have picked up about a yard if he held on. Not a huge loss there with the drop, but good pressure from Dre Greenlaw again. Steeler defense is always entertaining. Can't deny that. Just wish their offense could complement that at some points. Allen on 3rd and 9 will fire down the seams. It's caught by Keon Coleman. And it's a dozen picked up on 3rd and 9. Another Josh Allen clutch gene type of play to move the chains out across the 40-yard line. Allen is a beast in the playoffs, usually coaching, or his defense lets him down, it seems, and special teams. Can't forget that, particularly in the playoffs. Kincaid in motion. Benito runs with him. That shows man coverage. Handoff goes to Cook. That means somebody's on him, and he's going to lose 3 yards. Nick Benito fooling everybody. Runs with the tight end, then turns upfield and commits to the run. What a heads-up play from a young superstar on this Bronco defense. Bills again behind the chains in a 2 tight end set. Single back formation. Brandon Cook's going to pitch in here. Allen drops back. Quick fire outside. Caught by Knox. Turns upfield. It'll pick up 9. Great chunk play there. Up to the 47. Josh Allen himself plays elite level postseason ball just to lose somehow. Like he'll go out with an elite stat line. Every year he does it. Which is why he'll either win a Super Bowl by doing that, or he'll flip his own narrative and underperform when all he has to do is play good football. Cook in motion will empty out the backfield. Allen again facing a 5-man rush. Try to fire that one too fast, and it slips out of his hands. Incomplete. Not a firm pass. And it's 4th and 4. Mitch Wishnowski coming on for the punt. Probably had to have it, although this punt will probably pin the Bills or the Broncos. Well, how about we throw all that out the window? Offense stays in the field on 4th and 4. McDermott wants to go for it. Same motion from James Cook. Allen from an empty backfield, 4-man rush, going to fire it downfield. The same play, the same target, and this time a different result of Brandon Cooks. A first down. What a gutsy decision from Sean McDermott. Another high ball, that time Cooks just read it better. Nothing changed, though, between those last two plays. And maybe that is the mental battle that Sean McDermott plans to win this game with. Down by 20 at one point. Seeking a huge comeback in half number 2. Allen going to stay empty. Sets and fires again. Caught on the run. There goes Kincaid pulling away inside the 10-yard line. Taken down by P.J. Locke at the 6. But the Bills have found their stride here in the third quarter. Looking like a top team in the conference that we have known year in and year out. Single back again for James Cook. 3 tight ends set this time. Shakir, the lone wide receiver. Jackson Hall's in motion. Handoff to Cook up the middle. Got a block, and he's down inside the 3-yard line. Halfway home. Bills trying to make things interesting heading into the fourth quarter. I can't believe McDermott went for it there. Personally, I'm punting. I feel like I'd be a much more conservative coach in this day and age. Points are a lot more important with defense on the rise. As the handoff goes to Cook again. Taken down, but not before he crosses the line. It's a touchdown for the Bills. 2 drives in a row. Josh Allen leads them down the field, and we're back within 7 at Mile High. Replay again, another defender doing all the work there. James Cook, though, fighting upfield with that torque. And with 2:11 to go in the third, Matt Prater on for the extra point to make it a 6-point game in Denver. Losing the turnover battle, 2-0. Defense looked worse for wear in the opening 20. Offense was better left in Orchard Park. But somehow, someway, the Bills have climbed their way back to a 6-point game after a 10-play, 72-yard, 3-minute, 50-second drive. Allen gets it done. Kincaid there with the setup on the 34-yard catch and run. Thankfully, a good game tonight. That is very reassuring. We had a lot of good games last week, though. The Bucks-Panthers game was the only blowout. Niners-Seahawks came down to the wire. Obviously, Ravens-Steelers overtime. Absolute cinema. Still one of my favorite calls of all time. That Lamar Jackson scramble touchdown was one of my favorite calls I've ever made. That one will for sure be in our maybe our top 10 plays for next year. I know I usually make a little creative list. I tend not to put postseason games in there or, late season streams. Try to just focus on most of the stuff from the summer, but might have to throw that one in there for the top 10 plays of the year in 2025. Although that was January 2nd. Now that I think about it, yeah. Might have to save it. Could be an honorable mention, though. Here in a couple of months. 2:07 to go. Bo Nix has a huge drive ahead of him, and he starts off with his main man, R.J. Harvey. He'll pick up 12, and he's over 100 yards rushing on just his 13th carry. Looking like a two-headed monster here in Denver. But it's one man with the Hydra bill, as Nick's going to change this play entirely. Dropping back into the gun. Minute and a half to go in the third. Pressure coming from his weak side. Fires it downfield, and a terrific adjustment. Cortland Sutton off to the races inside the 5. And a touchdown-saving tackle made at the 4-yard line. Nick saw something he liked, and as a veteran would, picked out the open man down the seams. The Bills caught off guard, and it's the longest play of the game by far and away. Broncos try to silence any doubt inside the 5-yard line. Nick's back from under center. Goes left side a little bit high for Mims, but he makes the catch and extends across the pylon for a Denver touchdown. And the fireworks have found their way to Empower Field. Mile High feeling a little bit higher now with this offense up and running in the late stages of the third. Terrific athleticism there from Mims to not only make the catch, but turn the corner and pick up the touchdown. R.J. Harvey got it started. What a quick drive, though, from Denver. They took less than a minute to go 3 plays and 72 yards down the field. And they will leave the offense out there going for 2. Trying to get up by a nice round 14 points. The RPO to the end zone is caught by Troy Franklin. And the Broncos up by 14. It took a minute and 13 officially on that drive before they found the end zone. Bo Nix, though, does not want to let the Bills breathe. In the final 11 minutes we go. Allen, though, after that 4th down conversion, seems to be an entirely different quarterback. Really since that second interception. He's been playing it well. But now the defense starting to fall apart here in the 3rd quarter. Bills back to receive, taken from inside the 5-yard line, and special teams will get him out to the 30. Allen back to work with 50 to go in the 3rd quarter. Another reminder to drop a like down below if you haven't yet already. Subscribe if you are new on the road to 4,000, which we should hit towards next summer. And then after that, it'll be the road to 5K with a bunch of content shifting coming up in fall of 2026. Check out the community tab or the Discord announcements section if you have any questions regarding that, as Keon Coleman is lit up at the 45-yard line. And apparently, that's good enough for a catch in this day and age of the NFL. Keon Coleman, where they pick up a 15 there. I don't even ask what a catch is anymore. It's good enough. Bill's going to hurry back up to the line before Sean Payton can have a second thought about it. 4-man rush this time. Allen again finds Shakir, who will spin forward and has the wherewithal to turn that football. Another first down for the Bills offense. High octane heading into the 4th quarter. Electricity flowing throughout Mile High Stadium. Adam Power Field. At the end of 3, the Broncos 10 minutes away from an AFC Championship berth. With a 14-point lead, Josh Allen stands between them and a home playoff game next week here in Denver. Allen going to head to the other 45-yard line and get it started. 2 receivers left and right. Keon Coleman, the widest man here, on the near sideline. Allen hands off to Cook. Inside it goes. Nothing going there for their running department. The safeties, the defensive backs right now for the Broncos all over this rushing attack of Buffalo. Second out here for the Bills. Field goals out the window. Matt Prater shouldn't have too much to worry about other than extra points. Down the stretch here. 2nd and 10 at the 45. Keon Coleman. Florida State 7-0 in motion. Pat Surtain follows Coleman. Gets the drop-off pass there as Surtain sunk into coverage. Nice 7-yard pickup. In obvious 4-down territory, going to have 3rd and short. 7-yard pickup there for Keon Coleman. Clock going to become a factor here. Each team still hanging on to all 3 of those timeouts. Bills trying to find their third down conversion of the ball game. Left side handoff goes to Cook. This time got better blocking, but he's a yard short. Dre Greenlaw again, who almost had the scoop and score on the forced fumble by Talanoa Hufanga earlier. Got called back by officials, and he makes it a 4th and 1. And despite what we thought earlier, McDermott will send on the field goal unit. It's Prater from 53, and he missed it. Wide lefts. Probably what they deserve after a decision like that. You got Josh Allen, it's 4th and 1, you're down 14, and you kick a field goal. Yet Madden decides to go for it on 4th and 4 from their own half with 18 minutes left. Yeah, that's about EA Sports. Like, it's what we pay $100 a year for, you know? This is nothing new. Bo Nix, though, 4 incompletions on the entire afternoon, playing some of his best football when it means the most. That was very disappointing. I was really hoping we could see it. Even an Allen quarterback sneak would have been just fine there. Would have picked up the first down. Bills would have kept trudging down the field. But the back and forth affair shut down by the EA Sports Police. Handoff up the middle to R.J. Harvey. And he is going to have to work 10 times harder now, as the Bills will be guessing run. Bo Bishop there, helping out on the tackle. And so 2nd and 10 with a running clock here. Sun mostly tucked away behind the altitude risen stadium. Nix off the play action again. Pressure coming. Lofts this one downfield. Got him in double coverage, and it's knocked away by Bishop again. Playing hero ball in this drive, just trying to give Allen a couple more opportunities to put this game into overtime. Great ball there from Bo Nix. Marvin Mims, though, just couldn't break away enough. Brings up 3rd and 10. Huge play here. Well, they stopped the clock. 5-man rush. Nix again going downfield. Single coverage, and this time a different result to Evan Ingram. Safety on tight end. Not a great matchup favoring the defense. And Evan Ingram makes a huge catch inside of field goal range, which would essentially put this game away in the 4th quarter. The Night 90 emotes are out in chat. I don't even remember what all emotes I left in there. I know I made a handful, only could put certain amounts in there with the number of members that we had, determining that factor, as R.J. Harvey will plunge forward to pick up 3. 8th tackle for Matt Milano. Broncos inside the 30-yard line comfortably now. Yeah, R.J. Harvey with an absolute legacy first half to really help this Bronco offense, but that last drive from Denver and that defensive stand as well, really putting the bow tie on a game like this. 3-yard pickup for R.J. Harvey inside the 25. And chip shot at range now for Will Lutz. Anything 40 yards and in should, without a doubt, be a made field goal. I don't understand how we're still missing chip shots in the big 2026. 3rd and 4 from the 23. 4-man rush. Nick's going to fire it again. Caught by Sutton. Breaks 1 tackle inside the 5. And he's over 100 yards receiving on 4 receptions. Goal to go again for Denver. And a touchdown would be the emphatic dotting of the exclamation point if they opt to find it. Harvey this time lines up to the left side of Bo Nix. Gets the handoff inside, taken down from behind by Benford. And Terrell Bernard. 2nd and goal up to the 5. Yeah, it was entertaining there for about 5 or so in-game minutes before the game decided itself. It didn't want to be interesting anymore. That was their choice. Marvin Mims in press coverage up top. Nix will fire to the back of the end zone. Caught through the contact by Evan Ingram. And the Broncos ahead by 20 yet again. Extra point away from their largest lead of the evening. Bo Nix at this point throwing right at middle linebackers. Guy just shows no fear whatsoever. Bishop tried to be the hero that drive and unable to pull it out in the end. 5:21 to go. Will Lutz on for the point after. On the way, and it's good. Broncos go 8 plays, 56 yards, and 305, and essentially put this one away. I didn't realize you were a Broncos fan this whole time. Obviously, your PFP is the throwback helmets for Denver. Just peep that. To blow out the Bills on Saturday, I might cry. I don't blame you. That'd be an incredible feeling. Obviously, the Broncos, though, having that home field advantage throughout the playoffs, what a great feeling. If this result were to be that of in real life, that would mean the winner of the Texans and Patriots game would head to Denver. And how much fun would it be 11 years later? No, it would be 10 years later. It was the 2015 season, 2016 Super Bowl. 10 years later to have an AFC Championship rematch where Peyton Manning and Tom Brady left it all on the field. And now, a decade later, you have the new faces of the franchise, Bo Nix and Drake May. Almost too good to be true. It'll probably happen, though. We'll see. Allen from the pistol. Will hand off to James Cook there, looking for quick successive scores, and that's a great way to start James Cook into enemy territory. Chased down from behind, or would have been a lot more interesting. 5 minutes to go. Bills still have all 3 of their timeouts. I need to score probably before the 4-minute mark here. Going to have to recover an onside kick as well, in all likelihood. 3 receivers set again for Allen. He'll step and fire. It is incomplete. Looking for his tight end, Kincaid. And it's PS2 on the PBU. Reigning Defensive Player of the Year. First corner to win it since Stephon Gilmore. Obviously this year will likely be a different story. Might be a unanimous Defensive Player of the Year. Clock stops there with 4:42. The only bright spot of that drop there for the Bills. Allen sends Cook out again. Fires downfield, nearly picked again. P.J. Locke looking for his second. Josh Allen off the mark. Football feels a little bit lighter. Some of the best home field advantage in all of sports in Denver. Would say here, probably a snowy night in Green Bay, Wisconsin. That would also help. Extra blitzer coming. Allen going to fire this one down the field to the end zone. One-on-one. It's incomplete. Riley Moss on the breakup. And Cooks had both hands on the football at one point as well. Fourth and 10. Do or die now. Should have been do or die on 4th and 1 earlier. Boneheaded decision to not go for it might cost him. Allen on 4th and 10, fires downfield. It's caught in stride by Kincaid, and it's a 26-yard pickup inside the red zone. Bills stay alive. Kincaid starting to get more touches as the clock heads towards the 4-minute mark. Here in the 4th quarter. Nobody ducking out the exits early, especially if they're wearing orange. Shakir in motion. Allen, quick pass, left side, caught this time, Knox inside the 10. Tackled inbounds once more. Clock runs again. Bills just trying to get back to a stage in which they have fallen short multiple times this side of the decade. Allen on 2nd and 5, fires back in the end zone. It's caught for the touchdown. Step 1 complete to Dawson Knox. And the Bills bring it back within 2 scores here with 3:30 to go. Probably going to try an onside kick in all likelihood. I might even venture to say it might be worth it to go for 2 here. If they get that and the Broncos recover the onside kick and kick a field goal, it would still be a 2-score game, but they don't think as outside of the box as one might. High snap there. Terrific place down from Wisniewski as the extra point is up and good for Matt Prater. Nearly had a 2-point conversion attempt opportunity, which really would have thrown a wrench in this game, making it a 17-point game again. However, we are back within 14. Bills have all their timeouts still. Great drive there. Kick started with a huge, ferocious run of James Cook. One away from going the distance. Matt Prater steps up for the onside kick. Going low for it is P.J. Locke. And he'll scoop it up at the 43-yard line. 1 second coming off the clock. And so, Bills need to force a quick 3 and out. Score quickly again, and probably will have to recover the other onside kick. They will definitely attempt it. R.J. Harvey back on the field. Going to be seeing the football quite a bit more. 17 for 111 and 2 touchdowns. The MVP of this game by far and away, alongside the Denver defense. Knicks will huddle them up in plus territory again. Denver has been 2 steps ahead the entirety of this game, and looking for one more nail in the coffin. In the waiting moments of the 4th quarter, handoff goes to Harvey, and he's got another first down carry out across the 35-yard line. Unstoppable force, wearing number 12 today. 40 seconds come off the clock again here And that is going to put the Broncos into field goal range, which again goes back to the 2-point conversion dilemma Bills probably should have considered. Play clock down to 4, snap taken, hand off to Harvey. This time he'll lose 2. And the Bills will begin to burn their timeouts. 2:46 to go. Second and a long dozen coming up here for Denver. Not too concerned about the down and distance, though. Just got to worry about protecting the football and taking care of clock. Nix again, going to hand off to Harvey. Good block up front. He will take a hard hit at the 27, but hang on. 20th carry goes for 6. And a timeout taken again by Sean McDermott. 2:42 to go as the Bills are down to their final timeout. 3rd and 6 on the horizon. Buffalo again going to get in their own way here on the road. 3rd and 6, Bo Nix coming out throwing the football. Why not to the end zone? He goes, and there it is to Troy Franklin. Sends the Bills back to Orchard Park with a strike for a 41-point performance. Bo Nix getting that sweet, sweet revenge from last year, flipping the script entirely. One of his best throws of the postseason. That definitely felt personal. Got to be a great feeling there for Bo Nix. And it is a 20, potentially a 21-point lead again here for Denver. Well, you got the offense you might have wanted. As the point after up and good from Will Lutz again. 20-0 at halftime. These teams have gone back and forth. 43 combined points in the last 17 minutes and change. Do the same sim, it was 50-47. That would have been incredible. But 42 points, that's a hefty bunch for a simulated game. I think our record is still, 63 by the Jets in London a couple years ago? That was last year, actually. Insane game. The most chaotic stream possibly of all time. As the Bills will return this one again out across the 25-yard line as we start to head towards the official close to this game. One last reminder to like if you haven't yet already. Helps to throw this VOD into the algorithm that floats out there in the old YouTube space. Appreciate all the love and support on the Week 18 streams. Niners and Seahawks one got a lot of traction. One of our best sim weeks in the short week series here at the end of the season. Should be the last drive of Josh Allen's 2025-26 season as he'll fire up top to Shakir, taken down in bounds after a 9-yard pickup to the 35-yard line. 2nd and yard. See if the Bills want to snap it again. And they will try to hustle back up to the line here. Play clock down to 20. Snap taken. Play action from Allen. They'll fire to a sideline. It's caught by Coleman down in bounds. And a timeout will be taken. An injury timeout, actually. It's Keon Coleman, one of only 3 healthy receivers. It has been that kind of postseason for the Buffalo Bills. And so they get a free timeout out of it. So one more play before the 2-minute warning. But they pay an even heftier price. Really can't afford to go into those one tight end, 3 receiver sets anymore. Going to have to throw Kincaid and Knox both in there. Unless they can find a way, which it looks like they're going to put Jackson Hall's out at wide receiver. It'll pitch in here now from the 50. Cook motion out wide again. Allen. 3-man rush. Steps and fires again. Sails that one and completes. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning, which we quickly turn around from. Looks like Man coverage here again. And now flip to a zone potentially. Pass down the middle, secure. That is a 5-yard pickup by Jackson Hawes again. Ball to the 45 with a running clock. Bills still hanging on to their final timeout. Not sure how much longer they're going to be able to keep a hold of it, or if they will even use it at all. Down by 3 scores. Allen will fire down the middle. Dropped by Khalil Shakir. And 1:31 to go here at Mile High. Fourth and 5. Might be it for Allen. He'll zip it downfield. It's caught underneath. And just enough for the first down pickup of 6. They needed 5. Got just enough there. And so, drive remains on go. But the game essentially out of reach here. Allen again will fire an incompletion and nearly lost another wide receiver on a huge hit from Alex Singleton. More pain and misery from Josh Allen after a brutal first half full of turnovers and self-inflicted wounds. Comeback falls short, brought it all the way back to a 6-point game. As Allen going to face pressure again, and he's sacked for the second time by Zach Allen. What up, dude, bro? Allen has just been throwing turnovers this game, man. 2 interceptions. Bronco defense took advantage early. Bills made some poor decisions on 4th down. And the Broncos just took care of business at the end of the game. Allen going to fire downfield on 3rd and 19. It is out of reach, incomplete. 4th down coming up with 37 seconds. And it's kind of been a looming feeling. But now Bronco fans are really starting to feel the energy and the anticipation of football being played here a week from today. 4th and 19. Line again at the 28.5-yard line. Allen going to heave this one downfield, one-on-one to the end zone. Knocked away by Riley Moss. And it's it. Broncos take over at the 31-yard line. Cook's the intended target again. In single coverage, just not a lot to work with for Josh Allen. Missing Curtis Samuel. Missing all of his targets. Everybody that went down to injury this season. But at the end of it all, Bo Nix into victory formation. Gets it done in playoff time. The Denver Broncos have a legitimate statement win in the postseason. 42-21. They get it done at home against the Buffalo Bills and await the winner of the Texans and Patriots, which we will see on Thursday night. Don't forget tomorrow night, though, we got NFC playoff action at Niners head at Lumen Field, a rematch of Week 18, which decided the 1 seed. Will San Francisco get their revenge, or will Seattle continue to surge towards a Super Bowl run? Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, we will find out. But as for now, appreciate you guys tuning in, and hope